Hello there, this story is trending. If you're new to this channel and want to learn and become smart, make sure to like and subscribe to this video and press the bell icon to get notified about everything we post. He suspected his wife and set a camera. What he saw late at night shocked the whole family. Amy was a 23-year-old intelligent girl. She was young, beautiful, and was doing her education in business administration. However, she was very poor and had a family which barely had enough bread and butter to feed on. She had a mother who was very sick, but they did not have the resources and the money to take her to a good doctor. So Amy worked day and night after her study hours in part-time jobs to be able to help and provide for her family. She was burdened with a lot of stuff, but then the most awaited day of her life came. It was her graduation day, and before that night she couldn't sleep the whole night because she was so happy. Even though she worked many jobs and studied side by side, she topped her class and got brilliant marks. It not only made her happy, but also made her poor old parents extremely proud of her. After getting her degree, she started applying for several jobs, but she was looking for a job that was respectable too. Looking around here and there, she then got a job as a waitress in a restaurant. One day, when she was working in the restaurant, she saw an ad in the newspaper that had a job vacancy on it. She looked at the name of the company and got to know that it was a very famous and successful company, and they required a very vigilant secretary for their director. Amy directly applied for the job and went for the interview. She knew he would ask for the experiences and certificates, and there must be a lot of people as the job was from a very popular company. Yet she kept her hopes high and got her fingers crossed and went to the interview. As she had suspected, there were a lot of candidates, but she remained calm. When her turn came, she went in and was asked two important questions. What was the reason she applied for this job and what benefit could the company get by hiring her? She answered very confidently and with a proper bold voice. She told him that she was the perfect candidate for them and that it was not only her that needed the job, it was the company who needed a person like her to be the director's secretary. This greatly amazed everybody in the meeting, and a man turned his chair to face Amy after hearing what she said. He then whispered something inside the other person's ear and left. Amy and the other candidates were asked to go after the interviews and were told that they will be contacted if they are the chosen one. Luckily, it was Amy who was chosen, and she was told that she will be tested if she is what she had claimed and that whether she is competent enough or not to deserve this job. Amy accepted the challenge and came early in the morning the next day to prove her commitment value. She then performed perfectly and proved to the company that there was in fact no other person more suitable for the job than her alone. She worked vigilantly, confidently, with pride and hard work that amazed everybody, but the most amazed was the director, the man from the meeting who whispered in the other man's ear and then left. His name was Evan, and he was a very handsome and a well-known man. He was very famous and came from a powerful family background and was the head of the country's biggest import and export business. He was very impressed by Amy. Her simplicity and hard work, her attitude and kindness with her colleagues, and her beauty had attracted him a lot. In fact, he had fallen in love with her the first time he saw her and knew she was the person he had been looking for a long time. He would ask her to accompany him in every meeting, call her from time to time to bring papers and notes to his office, and take her everywhere he would go for business purposes because he wanted to see her more often and wanted to spend more and more time with her. Months passed and Evan could no longer hide what he felt, so he told Amy all that he felt for her, which amazed Amy, and she fell in love with him too. He then proposed to her in front of the whole office, and she accepted. While some were very happy for them, others, especially the women, were extremely jealous of Amy. The news broke and everybody was so shocked, especially Evan's parents, as they strongly opposed because they thought Amy wasn't the one he should be marrying. She was lower than their social class. But Evan stood firmly on his decision and then hosted a great wedding that was attended by a lot of people despite the disliking of his parents. Both of them were extremely happy with each other. They were the ideal couple. They understood each other well, supported each other, and loved and cared for each other deeply. However, Evan's parents loathed Amy a lot. They referred to her as a maid and not their daughter-in-law, which upset Amy a lot, but Evan stood by her side and defended her greatly and prevented anything that may hurt her or her feelings. Another person who loved and supported Amy was Sophie, who was Evan's little sister, and she had developed a great bond with Amy. Evan's parents' hatred increased and doubled after a year of their marriage because Amy didn't have children. Her mother-in-law used to taunt and hurt her all the time. She used to hurt her in all possible ways, especially when Evan was not around, because he would defend her otherwise and save her and cause no pain to her. One time, when Evan was out of the city, his mother taunted Amy every single day and caused her a lot of pain, and mentioned her friends' grandchildren, which made Amy insecure and jealous. So she went to the doctor once. She did a lot of tests to know what exactly was the problem, and to her shock, she got to know that Evan was in fact sterile, and he was the reason they couldn't have children. She was very upset and cried a lot, but she couldn't hurt Evan's feelings, so she decided something in her heart and went home. She went home and told everybody that she was sterile, which angered everybody, and then they went furious. The same day, Evan came, and after learning the truth from his angered parents, he went directly to Amy and comforted her, and she was crying. He told her that he loved her and that she was everything he ever wanted, and that they could adopt a child if they wanted, which gave her reassurance. But her parents could not accept it. They kept on pressurizing both of them and telling them that they would not take this behavior and they want proper children, and adoption was not a chance. Life had turned very hard. However, both of them looked after each other. After time passed, Evan thought that maybe Amy had changed a little bit and that she wasn't how she used to be. One night his suspicion increased when he didn't see her beside their bed. He thought maybe she was thirsty and had gone to the kitchen to drink water. But her absence at late nights went out of hand, as it was happening every night. He then put a camera in their room and wanted to know what was the reason she was not in her bed. But what he found was very shocking. To his surprise, Amy would get up every night crying and praying that Evan would be cured and they could finally have a child and make everybody happy and gain the love of his parents. All his family was watching the video, and everybody was shocked that it was in fact Evan who was sterile and not Amy, but she hid it all to not cause Evan any pain. Evan ran to her and apologized that he had suspected her and told her they would get proper treatment and go to the doctor. Evan and Amy went to the doctor, and then after doing tests, they discovered that there was absolutely no problem with both the husband and wife. Rather, they were doing great and needed no serious medication. However, the delay in childbearing could be solved by a little medication which could fix all the problems. They further said that the tests they had done before were actually mixed and exchanged, and that made Evan very angry. He wanted to sue the hospital for their irresponsibility they had shown. Evan's anger was because the hospital's irresponsibility months before nearly cost him and Amy their beautiful life and caused both of them a lot of pain. Not long after a little time, Amy got pregnant and the whole house and everybody was extremely happy and joyous. 3 years later, on a vacation in Maldives, it was Amy and Evan holding their beautiful 2-year-old daughter and their 8-month-old son and having the best time of their life. They had forgotten all their problems and worries and were living a very beautiful life besides their children. Not only this, Evan's parents had softened upon Amy after she got pregnant, and life was as happy as it was at the time of their wedding and honeymoon. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like it and share it with your friends. Also tell us in the comment section below about the story and whether you liked it or not.